Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by BASF, where you can count on the trusted performance of Allevo seed treatment to protect your soybean crop. Joining me from Seed Consultants is Matt Hutchison, and Matt is the soybean products lead, and that leads us right into the words red crown rot. It's new to Ohio, but it's not the first state to have it. Tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, that's right, Dale. Recently, I'm sure some of the listeners have seen some news reports on red crown rot's been found in Delaware County, Ohio. It's been found in other states, I know for sure Illinois last year. So it's a fairly new disease. It's definitely something we want to be vigilant about because it has the potential to impact our yields.
We see its impact as similar to some other disease impacts. Is it new because we've never been looking for it, or do we even know?
Well, I think that brings up a good question. The foliar symptoms are similar to sudden death syndrome. So if you're looking from the road, maybe you see a patch that you're assuming is sudden death, but the only way to know for sure whether or not it's sudden death or red crown rot or you have another issue is to get out in the field, take a shovel. You always want to dig up the roots and get the entire plant, but that would give you a better idea. You can't differentiate from the road, so you got to get out in your field and confirm what you've got.
Well, Matt, once we're in the field, we're digging up the roots. Where in the root system do we look to see this to know either to ask more questions or it looks normal?
If it's red crown rot, it'll have some red coloration at the base of the plant. So that would be a sign that it most likely is red crown rot. And if you wanted to confirm it, you can send it to a diagnostic lab to confirm for sure. That would be a differentiation between red crown rot and sudden death syndrome.
And I'm sure we're going to learn more about the ways to fight this. Crop rotation is one that's already been discussed, but again, we'll have to find out what that means. Does that mean every year or every 2 years? So the learning curve continues, but there are other states who've addressed this issue already.
Right. So we're low on the learning curve, but with any disease, crop rotation is a recommended way to mitigate that. Because it showed up last year, there's efforts by soybean breeders and soybean researchers to do some evaluation of individual varieties so that we'll have ratings. Hopefully in the next year or two, we can have some ratings that we can make recommendations for varieties that are more tolerant than others if we know we have fields where we've seen red crown rot. So there's a lot of efforts going on to make some progress there.
And thanks, Matt. This will be one of the topics they have at their upcoming field days, and you can find a field day near you at seedconsultants.com. Today's weather is brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. Here's the forecast.
Partly to mostly sunny, dry, and pleasant here for your Thursday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin. Quick forecast update for you. We have no precipitation in Ohio here over the next few days. Today and tomorrow, sunshine. Lower humidity values dominate. Is going to be a great setup. Frontal boundary comes through the Great Lakes over the weekend. All that does is give a reinforcing shot of cooler, drier air in here. I think we're going to be seeing the temperatures below normal as we start off next week on Monday. And then we move through the rest of the week with no additional precipitation. At least until we get to Thursday late afternoon, evening. Could see a few scattered showers develop there. Then back to dryness going into the holiday weekend. I'm Ryan Martin.
And thanks, Ryan. Back with more after this.
When you're buying seed, there's more to a transaction than money. You're exchanging time and trust, hoping each decision adds up at harvest. Seed Consultants sales professionals don't take that lightly. With products made to excel in the Eastern Corn Belt and agronomic knowledge that stands up to the test, we're all about the same things you are: reliability and results. Buy into a better seed experience. Visit seedconsultants.com to view our corn and soybean lineup.
Time now for the Midday Market Analysis, provided by Leist Mercantile and sponsored by Brandt, helping growers take control for over 70 years.
This is Ryan Metzger with Leist Mercantile, providing you with your USDA announced export sales update for the week ending August 14th. Old crop corn announced export sales were seen at negative 27,000 metric tons, and new crop corn sales were seen at 2.833 million metric tons. Combined sales were well above expectations. To keep with USDA export targets, we need to see weekly export sale announcements of 1.032 million metric ton. Old crop soybean announced export sales were seen at negative 6,000 metric tons, and new crop soybean sales were seen at 1.137 million metric tons, with combined sales well above expectations. To keep with USDA export targets, we need to see weekly sales of 743,000 metric tons per week. New crop wheat announced export sales were seen at 105,000 metric tons, and that was well below expectations. To keep with USDA export targets, we need to see weekly sales of 225,000 metric tons. Please visit our website, licemercantile.com, to learn more about our grain marketing program and crop insurance services.
And thanks, Ryan. Today's market's brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. On the Chicago Board of Trade, let's go with September corn up 4 3/4 at 384 3/4. December up the same 4 3/4 at 408 3/4. September beans up a dime at 10.25. November up 10 1/2 at 10.46 1/2. September wheat down a half at 5.05. December down a half at 5.27 3/4. October cattle down $1.05 at 233.80. October lean hogs up a dime at $90.05. This is the Ohio AgNet.